But there's actually another front in this war. And you may have perhaps seen it play out on your iPhones, your smartphones, your laptops without even knowing. It's China helping Russia by setting up thousands and thousands of fake Twitter accounts, spreading Russian propaganda, spreading fake news, conspiracy theories. Joining me is someone who's exposed the amazing extent of China's Twitter war is Mark Owen Jones, an expert in disinformation and digital authoritarianism, an assistant professor at the Hamad bin Khalifa University in Qatar. Mark Owen Jones, thank you so much for your time. Tell us about what you have found in this Twitter war.
Thanks for having me. So what I've identified primarily is between 2 and potentially up to 28,000 fake accounts that are mostly communicating in Chinese, but also in English. And these accounts, which are fake, they're sock puppet accounts, are mostly promoting pro-Russian messaging. And you know, the kind of arguments they're making is that the war in Ukraine is actually a war that was started and designed by the US. And you know, this ties very much in with Russian propaganda. So if I was to sum up, I'd basically say this operation is a kind of China-connected operation designed to support Russian anti-Ukrainian propaganda.
And you've got no doubt it's the Chinese government?
It's hard to find attribution or smoking gun in such cases. Even in any case with cybersecurity, you can only sort of posit a certain level of confidence in who's behind these. But if it looks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's usually going to be a duck. And in this case, the fact that it's in Mandarin, the fact that it really promotes Beijing's messaging would suggest that it's an entity that is supportive of or connected to the Chinese government.
Now, how many accounts are you talking about, these fake accounts? I know that you've actually traced, gone through, studied about 28,000, but that strikes me, you've only looked at part of the whole picture here.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, so with these kind of networks, you have a division of labor. So within this network, 2,000 of those accounts, we can be almost certain are fake and sock puppet accounts. And those are the accounts that are primarily doing the tweeting, producing original content, the propaganda, and replying to those accounts. The point of this is to drive engagement, to make this network seem genuine, to seem authentic, so it doesn't get flagged by Twitter's algorithms. The rest of the accounts in that network, which are which I haven't looked at in greater detail, are accounts that are designed to promote, retweet, or just follow those fake accounts, again, to give this idea that those accounts were authentic. So you have the tweeters, the ones spreading the propaganda, the ones engaging, and the ones that are just there to follow and to make it seem like that those other accounts are actually genuine.
It's interesting. I like what you've done. There's a terrific Twitter thread that you've put together on this. People should look up your name on Twitter and find it. You've said you can spot some of these fake accounts. They tend to have weird names. You actually said, like, porn star names. And they all have some sort of like fortune cookie aphorisms, a little guide to life message kind of thing. And many of them actually have 0 posts, yet have lots of followers. But this is just so crazy. How come Twitter's not cracking down on this stuff?
Well, that's a very good question. And yes, the names are always a good tell. You said porn star names, which is accurate. I actually said 80s erotic fiction, which is fairly similar. So names like Hatton Drake and Emilio Pace, names that you wouldn't really find in real life. So yeah, these names are a giveaway. But as of the fact that most of them use either photos that are stock photos stolen from real people, or sometimes in some cases AI-generated photos. And yeah, the aphorisms is actually something you see in a lot of these fake accounts across the world. Really not stupid sayings, but sayings that kind of induce vomiting, the kind of things you see on inspirational Instagram accounts, like it's not the number of breaths you take, it's the amount of moments that take your breath away kind of thing. And they all had the same amount. So each one of these fake accounts would have about 3 of these, all sent from the same application. And there are literally thousands of these accounts. I didn't even have time to go through all of them. And Twitter, this is the big question. said, why doesn't Twitter do more to tackle these accounts? One of the reasons that it can't, because it's so easy to set up a Twitter account, and Twitter's algorithms that are designed to filter out these automatically aren't good enough to actually do that. So what this means is that the platform is open to abuse by any kind of anyone who wishes to use it. And the irony here is that whilst we've seen people banning Russia Today for their propaganda, you have essentially pro-Russian propaganda on an American platform that's proliferating to a huge scale. And Twitter know that they're not doing enough.
Yeah, Marco and Jones, I've got to say, judging by some of the emails that I'm getting regurgitating Chinese talking points on the war, like what about America? What about these so-called laboratories working on poisons and all that? I think it's actually working. Marco and Jones, thank you so much indeed for your time. Really appreciate it.